Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome Mayor-elect Rick Kriseman, Deputy Mayor Kanika Tomlin, members of City Council, distinguished guests, Pitty, the St. Pete First Puppy, and all of you, the citizens of our great city. We gather today upon the historic occasion of the official swearing in of St. Petersburg's 53rd Mayor, Mr. Rick Kriseman. Members of the audience, would you please stand as we present our nation's colors, presented by the Joint Honor Guard from St. Petersburg's Police and Fire and Rescue Departments. Please join me as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, sorry.
Say it. On.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is now my honor to introduce St. Petersburg Community Choir, comprised of members of Mount Zion Progressive Missionary Baptist Church, under the direction of Dr. K. Bernard Parrott, who will sing our country's national anthem. And now it is my honor to introduce Rabbi Michael Thorpe from Temple Beth El for the invocation.
We, the people who walk the streets of St. Petersburg, who live here and work here, who raise our children here and seek the opportunities promised to every American citizen, we turn to you, O God, in prayer. We are at this place, our City Hall, the place given in trust to those we choose to govern us, to reaffirm the highest ideals of democracy. The sacred oath about to be pronounced in your name reflects the serious responsibilities entrusted to our mayor by the people of this community. May you, who are the Rock of Ages, guide him in protecting the very essence of our city, ensuring unity without uniformity, fulfilling his political, social, and humanitarian responsibilities. May the years ahead be filled with innovative efforts, bold initiatives, sustainable growth, and a true embrace of all who wish to collaborate to make St. Petersburg what it can be, a model city for the 21st century. Sustain our mayor, O God, and the city council with whom he shall work in partnership, as they advance the values which define who we are, a way of life which gives to bigotry no sanction, to malevolence no hope. O source of all life, enshrine in their hearts the knowledge that all are created in your image, and that life, your gift to us, is sacred. Inspire our leaders to defeat hunger and hurt, to promote compassion and public safety, to create economic opportunities and strengthen the safety net that protects us all. Inspire our leaders to hear all those whose voices are neither loud nor powerful, assuring them that they too will have their share of St. Petersburg's promise. In humility we pray that this opportunity for renewal will advance a sense of solidarity and purpose among all who live in our fair city. Inspire our leaders to act with reverence toward every man and woman whose divine spark makes them our sisters and brothers, whose human spark makes them our friends, whose personal spark makes them who they are. Inspire us, O God, to learn to ask ourselves sincerely in every community effort, not what we can get out of it, but what we can put into it. Inspire us to practice this principle of cooperation, both in ideal and action, in these soul-stretching times. May those who follow us, our children and our children's children, bless this mayor and the city council, their families and all those associated with them in our city government. And may all remember this time and this administration as one in which their future was made more secure, their way of life made better, and their community one to which they are proud to belong. Make all of us one heart, O God, so that together as one people we may move forward unafraid to the tasks and challenges of the years that lie ahead. O God, may you who makes peace in the high heavens help us here on earth to find the way to peace. Blessed are you, O God, Oseh HaShalom, grantor of wholeness, of unity, and of peace. And let us all say, Amen.
Color guard. Right step. Hoop.
And will you now all please be seated? I understand we have two former mayors in attendance. Please welcome Mayor Corinne Freeman, who served as mayor from 1977 to 1985, and Mayor Rick Baker, who served our city from 2001 to 2010. And also we recognize and welcome Senator Jeff Brandeis and County Commissioner Ken Welch and John Maroney. And Mayor George Creticus. Good afternoon. My name is Bob Devin Jones, and I've lived in our beautiful city since 1997. Work brought me here, love kept me here. And I was in Los Angeles for the holidays, and I wrote this poem for this occasion, inspired by the poem that Dr. Maya Angelou wrote for the president. This poem is entitled, On the Pulse of This Afternoon. There is a delicious and almost poetic irony in the word hope. To hope, exalted and thus ready for calamity almost in the same breath. Yet we, I, all of us, mostly, dream and plan for that hope. The joy in the evidence of things not seen. Things that have to be believed to be seen. There's something about this day that gives me hope. The hurt dirt of Africa from which we all spring to the very necessary and essential magic of the dirt of St. Petersburg upon which we all now stand are right in the middle of that hope. This moment, here, in this place, right now. Many who have preceded us to this place, this necessary place, where they built the mounds, pulled sustenance out of the ground, harvested the bay, planted themselves here in this soil, this dirt, and they grew. We grew into the city where the sun nearly always shines, nearly always, and the future has the capacity always to be bright, in all ways, for all of us, always. More of that hope. Why not? This is the moment, now, not sometime in the very next future, to listen, to learn, to lead, and yes, perhaps to love our city toward that hope. And simply, very simply, say to your friends and your neighbors, your mothers and your fathers, your sisters and your brothers, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I will now respectfully request that Thomas M. Ransberger, 6th Judicial Court Judge, to come forward and take his position in front of the lectern to administer the oath of office. And now, if Mayor-elect Rick Kriseman and his family would please come forward.
I, Rick Kriseman, do solemnly swear and affirm
and a citizen of the city of St. Petersburg,
that I am a citizen of the city of St. Petersburg,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the United States of America,
and the United States of America,
that as an officer of the city of St. Petersburg
that as an officer of the city of St. Petersburg
and a recipient of public funds,
and a recipient of public funds,
I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution
I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution
and the government of the United States and the state of Florida,
and the government of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the charter of the city
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the charter of the city
and the Constitution of the state,
and the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the mayor of the office of the mayor
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of the mayor
of the city of St. Petersburg, Florida,
of the city of St. Petersburg, Florida,
on which I am now about to enter.
in which I am now about to enter.
Mayor Kriseman, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you your new mayor, Mr. Rick Kriseman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bob Devin Jones. Thank you to our talented community choir, to my rabbi, Rabbi Michael Torob, and to Judge Tom Ramsberger. I am honored to be joined on these steps by my family, my wife Carrie, my daughter Jordan, and my son Samuel, and by our deputy mayor, Dr. Kanika Tomlin, and her family, Terry, Kai, and Nia. To the esteemed members of the St. Petersburg City Council, to Chairman Dudley, to the elected officials who have joined us here today, to the distinguished guests, to the former mayors and current mayor, dedicated city employees, transition team chairs and volunteers, and to my fellow citizens, thank you so much for being here, for me, and for the city that we love. I especially want to thank our public safety personnel, as well as the city employees who helped organize this event at nearly no expense to our taxpayers. Some have asked, why such a ceremony? Because anything less would fall short of the significance of the city and this day. St. Petersburg is Florida's 4th largest city. 250,000 people call it home, and millions visit us every year. We are a serious city, teeming with serious opportunities to raise our profile to match that of our quality of life. Now, traditionally, the swearing in of mayors happens upstairs in council chambers, a regal room, but with space for relatively few. Space quickly absorbed by family, friends, and those closest to the city's newest elected officials. And while I appreciate that tradition, I thought it was more important to move to a space that could host all who cared to come, as a symbol of my commitment to move forward together as one community, and to do so in the sunshine. Thankfully, the sun is shining today. And so today belongs to all of us. The doors of City Hall are open, and the journey toward our collective vision has begun. I am honored by your presence at the start of this new year and at the cusp of a new era, a unique time, but a familiar place. From the arrival of the Orange Belt Railway in 1888, when a tiny hamlet got its name and found its way onto the map, St. Petersburg has experienced moments just like this. In the 1920s, this hamlet was transformed into a modern city with tall buildings and grand hotels. Following World War II, a single-family housing boom nearly doubled our population, while the opening of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge and US 19 linked us to the rest of the state and the nation. In 1993, we approved a strong mayor form of government. A renaissance was imagined and later realized and resulted in awesome strides. And during each of these eras, men and women of vision pushed forward together. Some were leaders, others were residents who simply loved their city and wanted to make it better. And still others accomplished the hard work of laying rails, pouring concrete, sawing, hammering, and hundreds of other hands-on tasks. Today, on the doorstep of profound change, we recognize the hard work that has been especially cut out for us for this moment in time, like the need for a new pier. It's been a long and winding road, and it's time to put our destination in view. The form and fashion of the new pier is unlikely to meet with universal approval. We must recognize this, and we must recognize this now, so that our progress isn't impeded later. However, what we can agree on, and to a large degree already have, is how our signature structure will function. With a renewed sense of urgency and a spirit of collaboration, I am confident that the coming year will be productive and that a final design will emerge. In the interim, residents and visitors should be able to once again enjoy walking, running, or fishing around the pier head. And that's why this morning we have begun the process of removing that unfriendly fence. Allowing the pier head to be accessible within the next week. The hard work of reaching an accord with the Tampa Bay Rays must also begin, with the primary goal of doing what's in the best interest of the residents of St. Petersburg. And while I'm eager to see this issue resolved so that we can better plan St. Pete's future, our desire for clarity must not supersede the need for continued due diligence. The pier and the raise may be our most high-profile challenges, but a police station, a port, a renewed focus on creating sustainable jobs throughout the city, economic stimulus for Midtown and South St. Petersburg, and the revitalization and rebranding of vital corridors also hangs in the balance. On Midtown and South St. Pete, my remarks on election night bear repeating. Too many people are struggling. 1 out of every 5 residents is unemployed. 1 out of every 4 lives at or below poverty. Property values have fallen 42% since the onset of the Great Recession. This is happening right here in St. Petersburg, and it's unacceptable, especially given Midtown's rich history and potential. Even before the railroad came to St. Petersburg, pioneers lived along a twisting woodlands path called Lakeview Trail. One of the newcomers was John Donaldson, the first black man known to live here. He farmed 40 acres, carried the U.S. mail, and was among the most respected men in all of Pinellas County. Midtown went on to nurture many more giants: entrepreneur Elder Jordan, the Reverend Enoch Davis, who served his congregation for more than 50 years, legendary educators such as Obie McClin, athletes, artists, and actors such as Angela Bassett, who, like me and Dr. Tomlin, was a graduate of Bogosiega High School. Go Pirates. To me, it's simple. The best way to honor Midtown's past is to improve its future. The new Community Redevelopment Agency for Midtown and South St. Pete is a step in the right direction and is an important ingredient for a broader plan aimed at reducing poverty by 30% by the year 2020. But let me be very clear. Public and private dollars alone won't get us there. It will take hard work and a commitment from all of us to fully realize the dream of a seamless city of one St. Petersburg. One way to break down imagined boundaries, racial and otherwise, will be to make getting around easier. We are at the bleak crossroads of a critical infrastructure crisis. That is why we have been engaged in the necessary conversation about restructuring the bus system, adopting light rail, and even reconfiguring our tax system to pay for the way we travel in this region. But make no mistake, that necessary conversation is over. Now it's time to make choices. Will we choose to become an interconnected region, one with efficient bus routes that make sense, with light rail, and with a plan to pay for it? The Tampa Bay area is the largest region in the nation without an effective mass transit system. Yes, we are economically strong, but with an improved public transportation system and rail connecting the county, as well as our friends across the bay, we can be even stronger. This is not light work. It is a challenge we accept, one we will not postpone, and one we must win in order to become a vibrant city of opportunity with access for all who call it home. In closing, I want to touch on a different kind of infrastructure: our government. I am fortunate to have inherited a committed, tenured team of professionals who deliver excellence in every capacity of the city's work. From economic development to public works to community services, from housing to parks and recreation, wonderful work is happening at the hands of good people every day. This effort must continue, but it must also be elevated by the addition of a shared vision that serves as a common goal. The vision of an innovative, competitive, forward-thinking community that embraces the 21st century. In other words, I want every member of our team to always know where we're headed and how we'll get there. The result will be a better quality of life for those among us who are living well, and access to an improved quality of life for those among us who are struggling, vulnerable, or voiceless. There's also room to modify our team's processes to shift from a fragmented silo model of management to one that integrates departments' functions in support of that common goal. Our entire operational philosophy must also shift. We will be solution-oriented. No longer will no be an acceptable first response. No longer will we roll out the red carpet for big businesses while rolling out the red tape for small ones. No longer will we be a small city that refuses to engage on the big issues like climate change, gun violence, and youth incarceration. No longer will we be afraid to take bold action or to make mistakes. I, will make them. And when we do, we'll be honest about them. We will correct them, we will learn from them, and we won't make them again. Of course, all of this requires not just a strong mayor, but a strong mayor's office, the kind of structure that cities both large and small have in place. Simply put, our city hall has not kept up with our city. And without adjustments, our city will not be able to keep up with other cities. With all St. Pete has to offer, the only way we lose in the pursuit of businesses and resources is if we're outmanned and outmaneuvered. And knowing that you've entrusted me to be a good steward of your tax dollars, I am pleased that we've been able to grow our team while staying within the confines of our current budget. My friends, we are truly on the cusp. If we do these things, we will continue to emerge from the shadow of the city across the bay to become a center of commerce and a driver of economic development in our own right. We will advance beyond our reputation for a bustling waterfront, the arts, and baseball to one that also touts world-class education and innovation in the marine sciences, in healthcare, and in clean energy. We will become a daring city, a beacon of progress. We will seek that mighty thread that will knit all that we are and all that we do into a united whole, a 21st century city whose fabled sunshine brightens all points of our compass, north, south, east, and west. If we do that, we will have honored our history and embraced our future. May God bless this great city and all of those who live here. Thank you for the great honor.
concludes today's ceremony. We thank you and we're delighted that you are all here. Please be our guest to enjoy light refreshments at the tent located to the north lawn of City Hall to my right. Thank you.